startled me. Oh, hey, I was just reading about the Black Codes over here. Would you like to learn about them? Now, after the Civil War, white Southerners moved quickly to eliminate black people's newfound freedom. They wanted to return blacks, in effect, to their pre-war status as slaves. In order to do this legally, they passed new laws that appeared on the surface to be neutral and fair to all races. In actuality, however, these laws were designed specifically to repress African Americans. South Carolina began to establish black codes immediately. The Constitution of 1865, passed only a few months after the Civil War ended, failed to grant African Americans the right to vote. It also retained racial qualifications for the legislature. Consequently, black people had no power to combat the unfair laws. Some of the black codes around this time were: no person of color shall migrate into and reside in this state unless within 20 days after his arrival within the same. He shall enter into a bond with 2 freeholders and a sureties. Servants shall not be absent from their premises without the permission of the master. Servants must assist their masters in the defense of his own person, family, premises, or property. No person of color could become an artisan, mechanic, or shoekeeper unless he obtained a license from the judge of the district court, a license that could cost $100 or more. At first, the laws were called black codes, but because of their deceptive nature, they eventually became known as the law of Jim Crow. Now, Jim Crow was the name of a character on a minstrel show. Minstrel shows were popular during that time, and they featured white actors in black face or black makeup. Because of this name, Jim Crow represented the fact that black codes were based on racial disguise. To counteract the black codes, the Freedmen's Bureau, a federal agency formed to aid and protect the newly freed blacks in the South and after the Civil War, established by an act on March 3rd, 1865, under the name of Bureau of Refugees, Freedmen's, and Abandoned Lands. It was to function for 1 year and to close the war. A bill extending its life indefinitely and greatly increasing its powers was voted February 19th, 1866 by President Andrew Johnson. He viewed the legislation as an unwarranted and unconstitutional concentration of war powers in peacetime. The veto marked the beginning of the president's long and unsuccessful fight with the radical Republican Congress over Reconstruction. In slightly different form, the bill passed over Johnson's veto on July 16, 1866. Now, the codes eventually faded out with the passing of the 14th and 15th Amendments, which ensured civil rights to African Americans.